Hello and welcome back to another Space Wizard interview. And we have one of our most prolific authors at Space Wizard this time. So I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hey everyone, this is J.S. Fields. I'm the author of the Argillum series, Foxfire Duology, a whole bunch of books. And I am back here this time with a revamp of one of my older sci-fi books, Queen, and its sequel, Obsidian, which are both coming out, I believe, in December.
Yes.
For your
Yeah.
holiday shopping, I have your space lesbian holiday shopping sorted.
Yes. We always like to give a good selection of space lesbians for the holidays. It's
I hear that Space Wizard has like the highest amount of space lesbians per book out of
I
all the presses.
I think we do. Yeah. I think we need to investigate a record on that one. Um,
I think you need a banner on the website for it.
yeah. Largest amount of space lesbians per
Mhm.
book per capita. Uh,
Largest space lesbian collection. Browse.
yes.
Get in your spaceship, and the browse button could be a spaceship that you have to click, and then it like shoots off
Shoots off
into the
lesbians
collection.
and
Yeah, or it shoots off lesbians. That's even
there you go.
better.
Yes. All right. So this is what you're getting into with these books. Uh, so JS has written about half of our selection of books at Space Wizard, or been involved with about half of them. Um, so like you said, Queen is one that has already been published, and we're bringing in like we did with Foxfire last year. And then we had a new sequel for you, so we have a new sequel for you with this one as well.
It is a
So,
trilogy, so there will be one more. It was always
right,
planned
okay,
to be a trilogy.
okay,
Originally, and it's being brought over from my last publisher. And for those who
yes,
are unfamiliar, Queen has an intersex lead. It's very closely based off of my intersex condition, so it's fun to write a story about that. It's not they go in space later. They start off on another planet. So we're not starting in space. We're going on to call it a crap sack world,
yeah,
and an all women world. And I wrote it shortly after rereading Herland, which, if you're unfamiliar with it, is like some
uh,
early 1900s feminist utopia stuff. Very powerful for its time, but also very incredibly like racist and
yeah,
homophobic and things like that. It made me so angry. I wanted to write like a proper all woman world and really look at what that meant for trans people and intersex people and stuff like that. But also, you know me, and I'm a scientist. And
right,
so I had to put some science in there. There's a lot of cool stuff about it's got the planet is tidally locked, so it's got a hot zone and a cool zone and then a temperate belt. And it's got a red sun. And so there's different types of photosynthesis. For those of you who don't know, I have a PhD in forest science, so I'm very into that kind of stuff. So I made up all the plants and stuff to have to deal with red types of photosynthesis. And I thought there should be bunnies because I also have bunnies. And my favorite rabbit is a giant, one of those ones that's the size of a dog. I have a Flemish
hmm
giant. And
yep,
so I thought there should be some great bunnies and fungus interactions. There's always fungus in all my
always
books.
fungus, yeah, and everything, yeah.
Hmm.
So this is real hard sci-fi though. I think this is your probably your hardest sci-fi book.
Yes, in certain elements. As I'm sure your readers know, when you write hard sci-fi, it's not that every single facet is perfect. Like
Right,
there's always going to be hand wavium in the areas that aren't your science,
right,
like faster than light travel. I'm not a physicist. It just happens. Move on.
yeah,
But when you want to really get into the science of the plants and
hmm
how the beetles and the fungi and the fungus are all interacting, that's all very extrapolated from real science. Much like Argillum had real science in the wood science, but then
yeah,
also mysterious drives that whatever just took you to other planets. That's not the point.
right. It's a story.
I will
So
say that the people are so used to a certain kind of hard science in sci-fi. And so when you start getting into biological science as the
hmm
hard science, it can really throw readers. And so when you make like in there's a statement like early on because Earth has like died, so people have to go
yeah,
to other planets. And there's a statement in there that says something like the different like spheres are collapsing and the plants collapsed.
hmm
Um, and then it says something like humans could live without vegetation, but the earth could not. And I remember I've had a couple people be like, but that's not true. Humans can't live without vegetation. But I want you all, when you're reading this book, think about like in an extreme situation,
yeah,
you can live for a pretty decent amount of time without vegetation. What would spur you to figure out faster than light travel? No
yeah,
vegetables.
Yeah, really.
Mhm.
Yeah. So there's a lot of cool stuff in this book. I have read several iterations of it.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah,
From
and
early on, right? Years
yeah,
ago.
yeah,
Whoa.
really early on. This
Mhm.
was one back when. So for those of you who don't know of our audience, JS was one of our original writing group. That sort of was where Space Wizard came from. Came up with we came out with Distant Gardens, our first anthology. So this was all of us putting this stuff together. So JS and I have worked on stuff for I don't know, 15 years,
I was gonna say
long.
it's been at least a decade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
long time.
Yep.
So yeah, this one I really like this story. It's been around for a while. It's gone through several iterations, and I've read at least some of the second one in its original form too. So I am very much looking forward to that. I don't have the final draft of that one yet, but I'm looking forward to that one. Um,
With evil
so
AIs in space. Like it's so
yeah, well,
timely.
yeah, there
So
you go.
timely.
Um, so I want to delve a little bit. You've talked a lot about it. One of the things I really like about this world is that it's basically it's like a strip world that you've got one line of habitation, possible habitation on it,
Hmm.
um, which is you see it occasionally in like classic sci-fi, but I really like your take on this, and I guess just give us a little bit about that, how it affects the world and world building
Yeah.
and that sort of stuff.
It's based off of actually a Nova documentary I watched years ago. So when my kid was really young, my kid is autistic and was like really into space for a while. And so there was one particular Nova documentary that we watched over and over and over again to the point where I feel like I had memorized every line. And so it got me thinking about tidally locked planets and what that looks like. And so I delved more into it and I was thinking about tidally locked is fun, but I also wanted to have a different color sun. But tidally locked is so cool, right? Because the planet's not rotating as it goes around the
Hmm.
sun. So one side is always burning hot, and the other side is always cold. But plenty of science suggests that obviously there's going to be a transition zone. It's not like there's just a fake line where
Right.
heat and cold somehow mix. There's going to be a strip. And that strip would be if there was going to be life that wasn't an extremophile, that's
Hmm.
where it would be. And so in a world where you're trying to functionally punish a group of people,
Hmm.
what better way to put them on a planet that you can only terraform like this much
Yeah.
of?
Right.
And it's really fun because it will, in theory, those lines would phase in and out. So you'd have a perfectly habitable area, and then it would get progressively more extreme
Hmm.
as you went out. Uh, and so that's really cool because then you have the option for chase scenes, interactions, and lives.
Yeah.
Like how important you are to society is going to be, you're going to be in like the best
Yeah.
zone. And then as you become progressively less important or you become like the sand pirates and stuff, you're kicked out. But this is the future. So there is going to be like, even like in Dune, there's technology to
Hmm.
protect you, but it sucks.
Yeah.
Like no one wants to be wearing all of this PPE and respiratory equipment to go wander around a burning hot desert.
Yeah.
And it
Oh,
just, when you have that kind of setting, it's so much more dynamic than a spaceship.
yeah.
And it's also so much more little like limiting than doing a whole world. When you're at fantasy, you've got a whole world. And
Hmm.
you spaceship, it's so narrow. But this kind of planet where it's like, I have the planet, but I actually only have a strip of planet
Yeah.
makes for so many cool environments in a short place. And anyone who's read any of my books knows that I like to make the world small so it doesn't get too big. I tend to write more condensed
Hmm.
work. And so even if I'm thinking about Rosewood Penny, right? They're on an
Yeah. I was gonna say that
archipelago,
one.
a
Yeah.
tiny island in an archipelago. And I'm just like, I don't think there's other islands. It's a whole
Yeah.
planet. I don't care. It's
Yeah.
irrelevant.
Yes. Yeah, that it really brings it to it, and we should have the cover ready. I'm gonna post it below here on the video. We're just getting the final adjustments to it, but I think it really brings that to mind and has a really good scene on there. And what you're talking about with the PPE, I think this is something fun on the cover that we sort of made a note to the designers that yes, actually the person would be wearing a helmet, but you can see in the cover like the character has the helmet off just so we can
You
have
still
some
have to
interaction.
have a
Yeah,
lady on the cover of a
right,
space lesbian book. So it was like, yeah, obviously she should have the helmet on. But then you don't know anything about her. So,
right.
although if I recall, at one point in the book, she is so frustrated she takes the helmet off,
Yeah, I think so.
which is a bad
So
choice.
so it's just that one scene that's on the cover. Um, all right, and so without too many spoilers, what's going on in the second one?
So we should talk a little bit about the first one first, right? The first one is,
Yeah,
um, yeah, so there's a scientist colony on this world, and they're trying to basically terraform it and develop really hardy tree species that can grow anywhere because the idea is Earth collapsed, humanity had to go to the stars, but they want to fix Earth. It's not like we've abandoned it, but
right.
they're trying to use technology and stuff that comes from different worlds to fix Earth. So our main character, Asher, is one of these lead botanists who's trying to genetically engineer trees on a terrible world. So if they can work on Queen, they'll have to work on Earth.
Yeah.
And but her wife has just died, and like they're both scientists. This is an academic book. I made so many academic jokes. There's a lot of jokes about tenure because the tenure system,
Hmm.
for whatever reason, has survived Earth. The university system is all over the galaxy. You still have to publish in papers. You still have to
Right.
get tenure. So ridiculous. I love it. It's the best humor in this book. So they're talking about tenure and all this stuff, and their seedlings are dying and everything sucks. And her wife goes and dies on her from cancer.
Right.
And so she feels like she has nothing left to live for. She's wandering around in the dunes, just being a mopey asshole. And then she gets kidnapped by sand
By
pirates, who
pirates,
are
of
like
course. Yeah.
the obviously,
Yeah.
and they're the scientists who had already decided, fuck it, this is all crap. What are we working for? No one cares about us.
Yeah.
She gets kidnapped by sand pirates, and she finds out that her wife, who had like wandered off into the dunes to die because she didn't want to like die in a lab,
Yeah.
she hadn't actually died right away. She had been found by sand pirates and had lived for several more months before the cancer took her, and she had helped the sand pirates build a ship to escape Queen. So Ember has to come to terms with the fact that her fucking wife was alive and
Yeah.
helped sand pirates build a ship. And so we don't want to give away what happens at the
Yeah.
end of the book because there's a big fun twist. Anyway, the next book starts with obviously them on the ship. And it's the new love interest, a hot sand pirate named Asher, and then our main character Ember, and then this AI that runs a ship that's a clone of her wife's personality, except it's also an AI. So that's a lot of fun. So there's a fun little like what do they
Love
call those? Love
triangle or
triangles? There's a love
yeah.
triangle where they have to get to Earth and they're being chased, obviously, by the government. And there's the bunnies have escaped with them, so there's bunny shenanigans chewing fucking wires on the ship as they do. And they're trying to get to Earth, and Ember's sister Nadia had to stay behind, and so there's multiple chase
Yep.
scenes as they go through Lagrange points.
Right.
And Ember also is she's trying to have this new relationship with Asher, but her fucking wife's AI won't let her and can see everything. So we've got the tension of that, and then the amusement of space shenanigans and bunnies. And at
All
the
right.
end of this book, obviously they will get to New Earth.
Yes.
And then the third book
And
will
then we
be
have the third
about
book.
figuring out, probably how they're going to take over New Earth government. That would be
Of
great.
course. Yeah.
Mhm.
Take it over. Yes. So that's something to look forward to. And I guess we have two third books now to look forward to. Well, no, not even that. We have two third books and we have the last Argillum book. So to
Oh
sort of
yeah,
cap off all the series that you've got going.
we got to have the
So
third dragon
third,
book.
yeah,
Yeah,
Dragon book, Rosewood and Dragon Scale Comb, and then the what is it? The
the T.
T
Oh, the Dragon Tamer's tea set.
Dragon Tamers Tuesday. Okay, that's it. So you have that
Mhm.
one to look forward to. You have the third in the Queen series, and then you have the last Argillum book.
And we
So,
say last, we say that every time.
yeah, hopefully. Well, I don't know. Maybe not hopefully. We'll see.
And then hopefully the new series that I've been working on, I'll have enough books in it to like we'll release
Yes.
just like, oh, that'll be fantastic.
So many things to look forward to. You're getting a great hard sci-fi, I guess, beginning of the series, but you get the first two books at once, so that's going to be a nice jumping off point for this. And JS has lots of ideas, really cool ideas. Always got some space lesbians in there. Um, Plenty of fun science. So yeah, definitely check this one out. So we have a bunch of different options in the campaign. We have 8 new books, including these two that are coming out with this half, and we're going to try something new with this. We're going to put in author collections, especially because JS, I have a lot of books. There's several other authors that have quite a few books, so we're going to put some collections. So if you want to get all of JS's books, then that'll be available as an add-on in the campaign, and you can get everything at once and just read through all of them.
Yeah. And I want to let anyone who's like a fan of my work know You can always email me and ask me like questions about the book, especially science questions. Like if you're curious, like, did you make this up or is this real science? Because sometimes it's hard to tell, right? Please reach out. I would
Yeah.
so love to talk to you about like rabbit ecology and like pre-photosynthesis pathways. Like, let's have a conversation about it. I love that. Cellulose dynamics. Oh,
Excellent. Yes. And we will both be at Worldcon in LA this
yes.
year as well. So if anybody's coming to that, please come find us. We should have a table in the dealer's room as well, and we'll probably be on panels here and there,
Mhm.
probably talking about nerdy science and or space lesbians and or other things.
Absolutely. Did you fill out your panel packet? I did
I
mine.
did. I
Yes.
have. I have done mine. So,
We're on top
all
of
right.
things. We're not procrastinators.
No, not at all.
Mhm.
All right. Any other last fun tidbits you want to leave us with before we wrap up?
Fun tidbits. Rabbits have been seen both in the wild and domesticated versions to dance in circles on their hind legs, particularly in moonlight. This is a real phenomenon that has actually been documented. And if you have a pet rabbit, you will see them. They don't have friends usually to do it with,
Hmm.
but you'll see them, especially in the evenings, get up and put their little paws up and do a couple hops and look kind of confused because they don't have anyone to dance with. I just want you to know this
Yep.
has fascinated me since the first time I saw it, and I thought I was high. I was not. I've since talked to other people, but I definitely have moon worshiping rabbits in the book. That's
Yep.
real.
Yep. So wait for that scene. Yeah, I remember that scene. That's pretty trippy. So if you
So
want to see,
creepy to see in real
I know.
life. Like it.
So if you want to see rabbits or read about rabbits dancing in the moonlight, get your copy of Queen and get your copy of Obsidian. All right. That is it for now. Always a pleasure to talk with you. And
You too.
go get your new Space Wizard set of books. And we'll be back again later this year with the next part of our releases. Continue on as always.
Happy reading.
All right. Talk to you later.